Here's another form of jihad. Do you want to see? There's another way Muslims are infiltrating and taking over. And I just shared this post. It's in the description box. I call it Islamic sexual procreation as sex jihad. Another way they're trying to take over, because now they realize, well, we can't attack the West. We'll get squashed. We'll get destroyed. So how do they expect to conquer the world? Through reproduction. Now, let me show you what Muhammad taught. We're almost done. Stay tight. According to so-called authentic Sunni narrations, Muhammad discouraged his followers marrying barren and fertile women. If a woman couldn't conceive, he discouraged it, disliked it, makruh, right? Don't marry them. Rather, he commanded them to marry young virgins and fertile women so that there would be a greater number of Muslims than non-Muslims. This is what I call sex jihad. Are you guys listening? Islam says, don't marry barren women. Find fertile women who can have a lot of babies, and they can marry up to 4 of them, divorce them, replace them with another 4, unlimited sex slaves, so you can produce babies like rabbits. So the time will come, you will outnumber the world just due to procreation. Here it is. Again, the Catholic Church has been a blessing, because till this day, the Catholic Church condemns artificial birth control and considers it a sin if you try to stop your wife from having children. Have as many children, because guess what? The Christian population is decreasing because we're not having enough children. Guess what? The Caucasian race, you're dying out. You don't have enough children. You're dying out. The white race is now a rare breed. They're about to be extinct because you don't have many children. Because you abandoned God, you abandoned his ethical system, you turned your back against the church that taught you no artificial birth control, and children are a blessing. You are now decreasing in number. Because what did Muhammad say? Here, look at how filthy he is. Sahih Bukhari, volume 7, hadith 17. Narrated Jabir bin Abdullah, when I got married, Allah's messenger said to me, what type of lady have you married? I replied, I've married a matron. He said, why don't you have a liking for the virgins and for fondling them? You see how sick he is? The virgins. You see what a sick bastard he is? Why don't you find you a young virgin and play with her? Jabir also said, Allah's messenger said, why didn't you marry a young girl so you might play with her and she with you? You tell me this guy's not a sick demon? Okay, now watch, it gets worse. Okay. Again, Sahih Bukhari. Narrated Jabir, my father died and left behind 7 or 9 daughters, and I married a woman. The Prophet said, did you get married, O Jabir? I replied, yes. Yes, is she a virgin or a matron? I replied, she's a matron. He said, why didn't you marry a virgin girl so that you might play with her and she with you, or you might make her laugh and she make you laugh? Get a young girl and mount her. Pedophilia. I said, my father died, leaving 7 or 9 girls. And I did not like to bring a young girl like them. So I married a woman who can look after me. See why he married an older woman? Not because he loved her. To use her to be his babysitter for his sisters. He said, may Allah bestow his blessing on you. Here it is. Sex jihad. Crystals, everyone else, are you listening? Sex jihad. Great Hassan. Sunan Nasai. You go here, I give you the source. Okay. Chapter, it is dislike to marry one who's infertile. Muhammad looked down upon barren women. Looked down upon you. and discourage Muslims from marrying you barren women. Watch. Narrate Maqqal bin Yasir. It was narrated that Maqqal bin Yasir said, a man came to the Messenger of Allah and he said, I found a woman who's from a good family and of good status, but she does not bear children. Should I marry? Now he wants to marry her. Look what Muhammad said. He told him not to. Then he came to him a second time and he told him not to marry her. Don't. Then he came to him a third time and told him not to marry her. Now why? Look. Then he said, marry the one who's fertile and loving, for I will boast of your great numbers. Do you guys catch it? Don't you get it? I don't want you to marry an infertile barren woman. I want you to marry a woman that will love you, that can bear children, because I want to have a lot of children from you men. Go and plant seed everywhere, because I want you to spread your seed so we'll have more Muslim babies so we can outnumber all the nations. Sex jihad, folks. Sex jihad, folks. Still not convinced? Hassan, right? Here's another one. Hassan, Sunan Ibn Majah. That was Nasai. It was narrated from Aisha that the Messenger of Allah said, marriage is part of my sunnah. Whoever does not follow my sunnah has nothing to do with me. Get married. Why? For I'll boast of your great numbers before the nations. Whoever has the means, let him get married. Whoever does not, then he should fast, for it will diminish his desire. You get it, right? Again, this is a Sahih narration. Sunan Ibn Majah, Volume 3, Hadith 1863. I give you the link. You can read online. Boom, sunnah.com. So you Muslims don't think I'm lying. It was narrated from Abu Hurairah that the Messenger of Allah said, marry, for I'll boast of your great numbers. And if you still think I'm misinterpreting, here you go. This comes from what website? Let's see. Islam Q&A info. Is it haram to marry a woman who cannot have children? All right. Let's see. 2 prominent Sunni Muslim sites. I already mentioned this one, right? Okay. Let's read. Guys, don't be bored. We're almost done. The messenger encouraged marriage to women who are fertile. Thirdly, it was narrated that Anas bin Malik said, the Messenger of Allah used to say, marry the one who's loving and fertile, for I will feel proud of your large numbers before the other prophets on the day of resurrection. I want you to outnumber all peoples and religious groups by the amount of children you'll have, either through raping, through sex slaves, or marrying 4 women, divorcing them, replacing them for others. Now, this narration is Sahih. Narrated by Ahmed, class is Sahih by Ibn Hibban, and by Al-Haythami in Majma' Al-Zawaid. Sham al-Din Abari said, Wudud, loving means she loves her husband. Wulud, fertile means the one who bears many children. And from Awn al-Ma'bud, these 2 conditions are mentioned together because if a fertile woman is not loving, her husband will feel no desire for her. And if a loving woman is not fertile, the desired aim will not be achieved. So what's the desired aim? Which is to increase the numbers of the ummah by producing many children. These 2 characteristics may be known in the case of virgins. You see why he wanted you to marry virgins? From the behavior of their relatives, because in most cases, relatives have similar behavior characteristics. Again, here you go. Class is Sahih by Ibn Hibban and by Al-Albani and Sahih Al-Targhib. The Prophet, man, I was supposed to change this, hold on. Sorry about that. Almost done. So thank the Lord that I did this today because of Virgin Most Powerful. They wanted me to talk about Islam. I will when I have to. But again, the only way you can destroy Islam is through prayer, fasting, reading your Bible, living it out, and preaching. Okay? Because then you're going to have a mighty move of the Spirit through you to see millions of Muslims coming to Christ through dreams and visions through witnessing. Right? Watch here. So let's go here. The Prophet told men not to marry infertile women. It was there that Maqil bin Yasar said, a man came to the Prophet and said, I found a woman who's of good lineage and beautiful, but she cannot have children. Should I marry her? He said no. Then he came to him a second time, and he told him not to marry that woman. Then he came to him a third time, and he said, marry the one who's loving and fertile, for I will be proud of your great numbers before the nations. We got it? Now watch what it says. The prohibition does not mean that it is haram. It's not haram. Rather, it is makruh, meaning, yeah, if you marry a fertile woman, not the best, but you won't go to hell. But it's highly discouraged, disliked. Islam looks down upon infertile women. Are you seeing it, ladies? Because you're highly discouraged to marry an infertile woman, barren woman, because that's disliked. But if you do, you won't go to hell, but it wasn't the best. The scholars stated choosing a fertile woman is mustahab, not obligatory. I was supposed to add what it means here. I'll come back and do it. Meaning, highly recommended. Ibn Qudama, yep, I did it here. See, I was supposed to put it over here. Said in Al-Mughni, it is mustahab, right? Recommended that she be from a family whose women are known to bear many children. Al-Manawi said in Fayyid al-Qadir, marrying a woman who's not fertile is makruh, disliked, discouraged. See it? All right. Well, here's another Muslim website. Right? Islamweb.net, the status of barren women in Islam. Almost done. Almost done. Watch here. Someone sent in a question. You can see how angry they are. Look. They're angry. Question. I have read that in Islam, best women are those who are loving and can have a lot of children. I can understand the loving side, but women don't have any control on how many children they can have. Why the woman who can have children considered superior to women who cannot have children, even though this is not under their control? You see? You can tell the questioner is upset. Prophet stopped one of his companions marrying a woman who cannot have children. And I've also read that Hazrat Umar divorced two of his wives because they were barren. Why are women punished for something which is not under their control? Why are they denied of love and care? How will they be able to get married? Exactly. It seems that women who cannot have children are sort of outcast. Yeah. As I have read, some scholars consider it makruh, disliked, discouraged, to marry a woman who cannot have children. Why this restriction only applies to women and not men? Exactly. There are men who are barren. Did Muhammad not know that? No, because he was stupid. Men can be infertile too. See how upset they are? Now watch the answer. As for the prophetic narrations that encourage marrying a fertile woman, then this is in order to achieve some religious benefit. So what is the benefit of having a woman who can have many children? Like having many children alike. Why? The Prophet said, marry the loving and prolific woman, as I will outnumber the nations by you by your abundant number. Ahmed. Such narratives do not necessarily mean that a woman who's not prolific is not virtuous. You see how they're trying to sugarcoat it? Okay, if they are virtuous, why then discourage and cause people to dislike marrying an infertile woman? See that? As for the narration reported by Imam Ahmad Maqil ibn Yasir, narrated that a man came. So Ahmad narrated, Maqil ibn Yasir narrated, a man came to the Prophet and said, I have found a woman Honorable, now you know this. Now watch her. Marry women who are loving and very prolific, for I shall outnumber the nations on the resurrection by you, by your abundant number. This narration advocates what is better. So what's better? Marry fertile woman. What's worse? Marry barren woman. Highlights the benefit of multiplying the progeny, as we mentioned above. So you caught it? Now remember, Islam says I can have up to 4 women, right? But Islam also says I can dump them. So I got 4 women, I knocked them all up. I got, let's say, a couple of children from each of them. Let's just say I have 3 children from these 4 women. That's 12. But then I can get rid of them. I can divorce all of them, then marry 4 others and knock them all up and have more children with them. Let alone all the sex slaves and concubines that I can have without marrying. So how many kids can a Muslim have? There is no limit in Islamic legislation about the number of children that one is allowed to have. One is not forbidden to have a maximum number, and he should not limit himself to a specific number. However, Islamic legislation encourages us to increase the progeny and marry women who can bear children. The Prophet said, marry women who are loving and very prolific, for I shall outnumber the nations by you on the day of resurrection. Abu Dawood. So it is encouraged in religion to have as many children as one can have, because this is filling the earth with the obedience of Allah and His worship, holding the word of Allah high and increasing the progeny. You see, that's how Islam is going to conquer the West. You see that? Where did I get it from? Right here. You caught it? That's how they're going to conquer the West. Sex jihad. So that's how they're taking over UK. Sex jihad. That's why eventually Europe will fall. Now don't forget, part of jihad, Muslims can take married women captive, rape them, and sell them off. That's what they'll do if they conquer. Here it is. Real quickly. Chapter 4, verse 24. And I'm going to play a video that I played a while back. I'm going to play a video that I played a while. Now, it's outdated. It's about 20 years old. The video needs to be changed, and the statistics has changed. But when we watched this video, it was shocking. I played it to you a while back. We'll play it again. Chapter 4, verse 24 of the Quran. Also forbidden, prohibited for Muslim men, is to have sex with women already married, except those captives and slaves whom your right hand possess. Now, if you take a woman captive, she's married, you can have sex with her and bang her. That's what they're going to do to you guys if they have jihad. Here it is. Sahih Muslim. She's going to read one, and I'm going to show you the video. Sahih Muslim, Book 8, Hadith 34-32, Chapter 9. It is permissible to have intercourse with a female captive after it is established that she is not pregnant. And if she has a husband, then her marriage is annulled when she's captured. Once I attack Michigan and I and the jihadis take D and crystals, who cares they're married? Once we take them captive, their marriage is annulled. We can now rape them and sell them off. Even their daughters. Even their daughters. And here it is. Black and white, being carried out during the time of Muhammad. Abu Sayyid al-Khudri reported at the Battle of Hunayn, Allah's messenger sent an army to Autas, countered the enemy and fought with them. having overcome them, taken them captives, the companions of Allah's Messenger seem to refrain from having intercourse with captive women because of their husbands being polytheists. Wait, Prophet, these married women, their husbands are alive, they're pagans. We don't want to defile ourselves. So then Allah sent down this verse, 424. No, they're lawful for you. Go ahead. Just make sure they're not pregnant first. So go ahead, rape them and sell them off. Yeah, I know that, Christopher. You're getting too excited, man. Don't get too angry and excited at me. I know it's immigration. But once you allow a lot of them in, you look at your birth rates in UK. You have only one child. If you're lucky, two. They're going to have 4 or 5 kids. Yeah, I know it's immigration. But once they stay, they're going to outnumber you dudes. And here I'm going to play the video. Remember, YouTube, copyright law allows for fair use of clips, right, for educational purposes. Islamic demographics. I showed this to you. Now, remember, it's way outdated. It was true then, but now the numbers have changed. So now get ready to freak out. You ready? I played this about a year ago. By the way, crystals, everyone else, go to Real Virgin Most Powerful Radio. I did an hour session with Jesse Romero and his partner Terry on this topic on Islam. That's why I decided to talk about Islam. Here you go. Way outdated. But watch and get scared. And we'll be done. You ready? Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about Christian topics. All right, right here. Get ready. I'm going to have to stop it at key points so I don't get flagged. Please, Lord, protect it. Now, by the way, when did this come out? This is 16 years ago. 16 years ago. Watch. Virgin Most Powerful Radio. Look for it online. Virgin Most Powerful Radio. Watch here, we're done.
According to research, in order for a culture to maintain itself for more than 25 years, there must be a fertility rate of 2.11 children per family. With anything less, the culture will decline.
Do you hear it? You got to have at least over 2 kids to preserve your cultural identity. Did you hear it? Watch.
Historically, no culture has ever reversed a 1.9 fertility rate. A rate of 1.3, impossible to reverse, because it would take 80 to 100 years.
They did, brother? No way. Well, anyway, time to make you a mod. Can you send me the link? All right, brother, send me the link. They played a clip of me? I didn't know that. All right, now watch. Now you're a mod, brother. Guys, don't be jealous. Eventually, I'll make all of you mods. It seems that's how it's going.
Years to correct itself, and there is no economic model that can sustain a culture during that time. In other words, if 2 sets of parents each have 1 child, there are half as many children as parents. If those children have 1 child, then there are 1/4 as many grandchildren as grandparents. If only 1 million babies are born in 2006, it's hard to have 2 million adults enter the workforce in 2026.
This is the dilemma, the crisis, the economic crisis of China. Because of their strict rule, you can only have 1 child, and they murdered unborn children. Now they realize their economy is collapsing because they don't have enough young people in the workforce. See how stupid? When you go against God's rule, he will expose you and shame you. Same problem in Japan.
As the population shrinks, so does the culture. As of 2007, the fertility rate in France was 1.8.
Bye-bye, France.
England, 1.6.
Bye-bye, England.
Greece, 1.3.
Bye-bye.
Germany, 1.3.
You understand? These are unsustainable numbers. You're going to die out as a culture. Thank you, brother. You're going to die out as a culture. Do you understand? Jesse Romero hangs up on me? Why does it say he hangs up on me? Hangs up on me? Oh, they have the show here. But they didn't hang up on me. All right. Anyway. Yeah, they have the show. That's the show I did today. Bye-bye.
Italy, 1.2. Spain, 1.1.
1.1.
Across the entire European Union of 31 countries, the fertility is a mere 1.38.
Bye-bye, cultures. Yeah, by the way, brother, that's the show I did. He didn't hang up on me. I'm going to show you. That's the show I did. I'll give you the link to where you can watch it online. Thank you for that.
Historical research tells us these numbers are impossible to reverse. In a matter of years, Europe as we know it will cease to exist.
Do you hear it?
Yet the
Europe as we know it will cease to exist. Do you hear it, Christopher? It's not just migration, yes, but they're going to outnumber you by procreation.
population of Europe is not declining.
Why?
Why? Immigration. Islamic immigration. Of all population growth in Europe since 1990, 90% has been Islamic immigration. France, 1.8 children per family. Muslims, 8.1.
Do you caught it? How the hell are you going to keep up with these numbers? Muslims have large families, and then they're going to have more children. How the hell are you? Remember, this is 16 years ago, this video. Let me get you the link there again. Share it. This is now outdated. This is now outdated. Needs to be updated. How the hell are you going to overcome this?
In southern France, traditionally one of the most populated church regions in the world, there are now more mosques than churches. 30% of children ages 20 and younger are Islamic. In the larger cities such as Nice, Marseille, and Paris, that number has grown to 45%.
That's 16 years ago. Listen, almost
by 2027, 1 in 5 Frenchmen will be Muslim. In just 39 years, France will be an Islamic republic. In the last 30 years, the Muslim population of Great Britain rose from 82,000 to 2.5 million.
Ouch! Immigration, procreation, your days are numbered. You're cooked. Wow, you just took the words out of my mouth. I said the same thing. Your days are numbered. You're cooked. See that? I have to stop it so I don't get flagged.
A 30-fold increase. There are over 1,000 mosques, many of them former churches. In the Netherlands, 50% of all newborns are Muslim. And in only 15 years, half of the population of the Netherlands will be Muslim.
Netherlands, that was 16 years ago. Check if that rate has caught up. He said this about 16 years ago.
In Russia, there are over 23 million Muslims. That's 1 out of 5 Russians. 40% of the entire Russian army will be Islamic in just a few short years. Currently in Belgium, 25% of the population and 50% of all newborns are Muslim.
Damn, Europe. Europe. What's going on? I have no idea what you're talking about, Howard. I don't know if you're stupid, if you're saying that you don't mind your mother being a Shia whore. Whatever floats your boat.
The government of Belgium has stated 1/3 of all European children will be born to Muslim families by 2025. Just 17 years away.
Get it? So now we're in 2025. Check the stats and see. 17 years ago this video came out. And now it's 2025.
The German government, the first to talk about this publicly, recently released a statement saying, "The fall in the German population can no longer be stopped. Its downward spiral is no longer reversible. It will be a Muslim state by the year 2050.
2050, huh? Even Muammar Gaddafi, before he got molested and murdered by his own Muslim ikhwan, said that Muslims are going to take over Europe without the sword, just by immigration and procreation. Watch here. 2 more minutes. I got to stop it, guys, so I don't get flagged.
Muammar al-Gaddafi of Libya said, "There are signs that Allah will grant victory to Islam in Europe, without swords, without guns, without conquest. We don't need terrorists. We don't need homicide bombers. The 50+ million Muslims in Europe will turn it into a Muslim continent within a few decades." There are currently 52 million Muslims in Europe.
That was over 16 years ago. See how many Muslims are in Europe right now. Another minute and a half, and then we're done.
The German government said that number is expected to double in the next 20 years to 104 million. Closer to home, the numbers tell a similar story. Right now, Canada's fertility rate is 1.6, nearly a full point below what is required to sustain a culture. And Islam is now the fastest growing religion. Between 2001 and 2006, Canada's population increased by 1.6 million, 1.2 of those immigration.
Islam is not growing because of conversion. Statistically, most converts leave Islam within 5 years. They see how filthy Islam is. It's growing by immigration and procreation. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Yeah, Dean, let me talk about it, brother. Let me talk it. Let me send you on a Hajj to Mike Winger. Give him my regards.
In the United States, the current fertility rate of American citizens is 1.6. With the influx of the Latino nations, the rate increases to 2.11, the bare minimum required to sustain a culture.
It is the Latinos and the African Americans who are actually preserving their cultural identity because they have a lot of children. Did you catch that? Now, one major reason why Latinos have a lot of children is because of Catholic influence. You know that, right? It's the Catholic values that teaches Latinos children are a gift, not a curse. So they have larger families. See that? In the African American community, they also have a lot of children. Why do you think Planned Parenthood was started? If you guys don't believe me, why do you think Planned Parenthood was started? Again, go to Lily JP's favorite prophet, ChatGPT or Google. Type in the founder of Planned Parenthood. Their agenda was to decrease the black population, non-white population, to have blacks and Hispanic murder their children so that they could be controlled and there'd be less of them. Did you know that? So it agreed with what the video said. Isn't that what the video said? Yep. Check it out. See if I'm lying.
In 1970, there were 100,000 Muslims in America. Today, there are over 9 million.
Now, yeah, right now there'd be 9 million. How do we jump from 100,000 to 9 million? Immigration. But also procreation, right?
The world is changing. It's time to wake up. 3 years ago, a meeting of 24 Islamic organizations was held in Chicago.
Remember, this is over 16 years ago. So 17, 2025. He said 17 years later would be 2025. So 2025 minus 17. That's, let's do 2025 minus 15, 5 and 5, 0. Right? So that would have been 2008. So that means 2005. He's talking about 2005.
The transcripts of that meeting showed in detail their plans to evangelize America through journalism, politics, education, and more. They said, we must prepare ourselves for the reality that in 30 years, there will be 50 million Muslims living in America. The world that we live in is not the world in which our children and grandchildren will live. The Catholic Church recently reported that Islam has just surpassed their membership numbers. Some studies show that at Islam's current rate of growth, in 5 to 7 years, it will be the dominant religion of the world.
Catch it?
As believers, we call upon you to join the effort to share the gospel message with the changing world. This is a call to action.
Better believe it. Church militant, what are we going to do? Church militant, what are we going to do? Now, this came out 2008. Look how spot on it is. What are we going to do? No, brother, Christopher, I know you're a stupid bastard. I know your mother's a Shia whore, and you love to Shia your whore mother. The statistics that he gave you was from Muslims. That's why I say that, yeah, maybe now it's 9 million, because Muslims exaggerate their numbers. Now, Christopher, you are a whore. Get the hell out of here. Go find your whore mother who's getting mounted by the Shia, because you've already given yourself to the Shia, who like to mount you, you filthy, stupid bastard. You son of the whore of Babylon. You keep barking like a whore and don't shut up. They're going by the statistics of Muslims. You filthy bastard son of Satan. Guy won't stop barking like a whore. Is your mother renowned in Iran for doing muta? Is that why you're so excited? And you're getting so antsy? Because we're exposing your Shia ancestors, you bastard? Okay. Filthy whore, man. Doesn't shut up. That's why you and your mother need to be thrown in Iran jail. Okay? Now watch, this bastard said 3 million, right? Even here, it says 4.445. In 2008, Muslims were saying there were 6 to 7 million Muslims in America. You dumb bastard. They're going by statistics given by Muslims, which we know they exaggerate. You son of Satan. Estimated Muslim growth in the U.S. is around 4.4 million population. Around 1% of total, and you said 3.3. Shows you don't know math because you're stupider than the Shia who fathered you. This number has been growing, with projections suggesting an increase to 8.1 million by 2050. Stupid, huh? Guy won't stop barking like his mother. I hope now you feel stupid, you son of Satan. Pit on your ancestry. Back in 2000s, we used to be told by Muslims there are 6 to 7 million Muslims in America. We knew they're exaggerating, but that's what they're saying. They're going by what the Muslims say. Filthy prostitute. You're more upset that they didn't get the numbers right than the reality that Islam is spreading. No respect to prostitutes, they're better than you. Right? Right? Let me just see something. Not voter. They're going by voters. We're not talking about voters, dude. Not voters. Yep. Anyway. Guy won't shut up. You notice this prostitute wouldn't shut up? No matter why, I get angry. Stupid bastard. Bastards are better than you. Pit on you, Christopher Menon. Hide behind your screen and bark like a dog. Go do something. Go get people saved. Save your mother from the Shia brothel. Watch this. Look at this weirdo. Here it is. They actually put my interview today. This was today. Why says Joseph Romero hangs up on Sam Shimon? Why? There it goes. That's me right there. Here it is. This was today. So here's the video if you want to watch it. Oh, shit, dude. That doesn't shut up. I know they cook the statistics. So there I go. This was today. Virgin Most Powerful Radio. But why do they say he hung up on me? He didn't hang up on me. I guess this is clickbait. See? There he is. There he is. So there he goes. So go watch it, guys. Lord will, I'll be doing part 2 sometime next week. Guy doesn't shut up, huh? Now, how does your mother feel after doing muta?